Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be showing you as well as explaining what collective responsibility means. Now collective responsibility is one of those settings that's kind of buried inside of the scenario editor that you've probably seen before and maybe you've fiddled with, maybe you haven't, maybe you're a little curious about it. It's this little guide right here. What collective responsibility does is simply say that what happens to one unit will then affect others in the sense of allegiances. So what I have here is a relatively straightforward scenario. I've got my lovely F-16 Block 52 here, and we have a bunch of neutrals with a lot of angry S-300s. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set collective responsibility to be off for our team. You can see right now the collective responsibility is set on. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that box. I can also shut it off for a blue team. It really doesn't make a difference here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch an attack on this radar site right here. I'll go ahead and pick a couple of those. I'll even be a little cheaty here and get a little bit closer to it so I don't have to wait so long. And there goes the weapons. So the two weapons are now launched. And of course, one of the things you probably observe here, which you'll find interesting, is the fact that all of our SAM sites here have remained as neutral targets. Now, what you expected is this entire team to suddenly turn red because basically we're attacking them in this location. Therefore, they should be shooting us everywhere else as well. Let's go ahead and get this guy out of the way real quickly here. I actually ordered him to go fly over here to our S-300. So let's go ahead and let that bomb go ahead and drop on that radar site. Ba-bam. And as you can see, none of the other SAM sites engage because they don't have that collective responsibility. In essence, I can pink off one at a time. So let's go ahead and reset the scenario again. Go switch our blue team here. We're going to leave collective responsibility turned on. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the same attack against the radar site, but watch what happens this time. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a little bit closer. Go ahead and unpause here. Notice as soon as I ordered that, the entire team turned red. The reason the whole team turned red is because the collective responsibility for my side was set. So once I declared a single unit of that side as hostile, the entire side is now hostile. The other thing you're going to observe, well, one of the things I find kind of fun here, I'll go ahead and order him to do this, is the fact they have not actually started popping shots at us. And you're probably sitting here going, what's the deal with that? Well, the reality is if we come over here real quick, you will probably have observed the fact that this particular unit here has not been identified. Even though we know we've been attacked here, we don't necessarily know that this was the unit that actually fired the attack. So if you're saying, why are none of the SAM sites going hard on this guy right here? They should be taking shots at him. It's because of that fact. So what I'm going to do real quickly here is I'm just going to edit my scenario a little bit. Let's add a watchtower. I think I've used about 1 million watchtowers at this point. The watchtower, by the way, is one of my favorite little, just stick it somewhere if I need a sensor. Let's go ahead and throw on really good quality low light television here, LLTV. Scroll down here, LLTV, 3rd generation surveillance, boop, just like that. So that's going to get us a really good quality camera there. So he's going to look up, and you'll notice as soon as we identify the target as being on my side, every single SAM site in the entire group here is now trying to light this particular target up. And if you actually watch, you can actually see all the radars popping on basically one at a time for the purposes of engaging. The first priority, of course, is going to be shoot down my guided weapons rather than go against my little aircraft that delivered it. But you can see basically real time. Yeah, I can see this guy on the sides actually doing the deed against the aircraft, even though ironically this guy would do a better job of it. But he's obviously got to fire if he's going to hopefully hit those guided weapons, which as you can see, one of his rounds went right past. Uh-oh, you're never going to hit this in time. So that's kind of what happens. So as you can see, collective responsibility is an interesting little element. Now, a lot of people will say, when on earth would you actually have collective responsibility turned off? One of my favorite places to shut off collective responsibility is when you're using civilian units. Civilian units, if you accidentally hit one of them, you don't need the entire civilian side to declare war on you, which is kind of one of those things. You'll also see this too if you have a neutral observer, we have a bunch of French ships and it's like a NATO exercise or something like that. And they're not necessarily friendly as in sharing information to us, but they are definitely possible targets if you miss with that TASM. Enjoy.